Welcome and thank you for tuning in to episode number 7 of 10 Tesla Topics, your show for Tesla-related news, rumors, and stories. My name is Max Maurice, and during today's episode, I'll fill you in on 10 Tesla topics from Tuesday, February 7th to Saturday, February 11th, 2017. Topics discussed today are the following. Model 3 will not have a 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack. Tesla is expanding in India. Your supercharging experience just got better. The Tesla Model 3 production will start in February. Kind of. A big Tesla flaw. An unhappy Tesla employee. Audi takes a little jab at Tesla. The new Tesla app. A Model 3 70D. And a Model S P90++. Topic number 1 comes from Twitter. So Elon Musk has confirmed on his Twitter, as he often does, that Tesla's 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack will be for the Model S and the Model X only, so not the Model 3. At Jovanik tweeted at him saying, "Did you just drop a hint that 3 will have a 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack?" To which he responded, "No, will be lower, wheelbase can't fit 100. So we know that it'll be under 100, but what will the minimum size be? Will it be a 40, a 50, a 60? Feel free to drop a comment on what your predictions are and why. Topic number 2 also comes from Twitter, and that is that Tesla confirmed that they'll launch in India, hopefully, by this summer. The announcement came once again from a tweet from Elon, replying to a user who asked, "Eagerly waiting for Tesla to launch in India. Any plans to do it? If so, when?" Musk replied, "Hoping for this for summer this year," which is fantastic news. It seems like 2017 is going to be a big year for Tesla, not only because of the Model 3, but it also seems like they're expanding in many new regions. So, I mean, if you're a listener and Tesla currently isn't in your country, hey, maybe in a couple months you'll be seeing more Teslas around. Topic number 3 comes from Tesla Roddy, and so Tesla has activated a new feature that I believe was possibly one of the most requested features among Tesla owners. I mean, I've seen countless tweets and videos about it. So the feature I'm talking about is, of course, the feature that allows drivers to see real-time supercharger use information directly from the vehicle's onboard map. This feature is convenient for a couple of reasons, but, mainly for timing and road trips, right? I mean, if you see a location that is fully used up, but then you see another location 50 kilometers down the road that is completely empty, of course you'll go for the one down the road. That is assuming that you have enough battery to last the trip to the empty supercharger. But yeah, so the number of open stalls now appears directly above the supercharger idle fee information. For example, like 4 out of 12 stalls available. And so below the navigate button is a little icon that highlights the number of supercharger stalls in use, like by a little red bar, as you can see here. Topic number 4 comes from Electrek, and it's rather an exciting one. So Tesla confirmed in a statement to Electrek on the 8th that it plans to pause production for a week this month at the Fremont factory in order to install equipment to start a pilot production of the Model 3, and that'll be on February 20th. They don't expect that it'll affect its production for the first quarter in 2017 since it added production days to compensate. There have been previous instances of short downtimes at Tesla's Fremont factory in order to expand its assembly line for higher production capacity and for the introduction of the Model X. During this new production pause this month, Tesla says that it will update the paint shop. During this time, we plan to add capacity to the existing paint shop so that it is ready for Model 3 and perform general maintenance on other factory equipment. Tesla recently acquired new construction permits for the expansion of its paint shop, including one for the Model 3 fascia assembly equipment removal. And in that statement, Tesla added that this new equipment will allow the company to begin Model 3 production later this year as planned, which is fantastic news, if they can still back that up and if they can promise on that. So to enable the initial goal of ramping up production towards 500,000 vehicles annually in 2018. Topic number 5 comes from YouTube. So a couple days ago, a YouTuber that goes by the name Salamandrim, you may know him from his pretty cool car videos with his buddies Farshad and Pedro. He's got some pretty impressive cars. He used to actually have a Model X P90D Ludicrous, but he unfortunately sold that. But anyways, he recently released a video titled Tesla's Insane Security Flaw. So naturally I had to watch it. But there's a good reason why that security flaw exists.
So step 1, find the Model X of your liking. Step 2 is just get down here. Just find this little pocket right here and pull.
Do we need like a screwdriver?
Yes, you need something with a flat prying head.
This really makes it like not good. This is like.
Where was the screwdriver?
In my pocket.
All right, glad you had a screwdriver on you this one time.
Hey, I'm always
and not all the time.
I'm always prepared.
You put this in the corner, make some pressure.
And it pops
That
right up.
literally just opens that right here without damaging the piece.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I concur. Okay, so now there should be 2 red canvas pieces in there.
Right here. And all we gotta do is pull on them.
Now pull them out just a little bit so the GoPro in there can see it.
And then we're gonna pull this. If the alarm does not go off, there's a big problem. But even if the alarm goes off, if someone's stealing your parts on the front, this is how long it'll take them.
Or if you left something in the front.
Let's see.
Yeah, because when you valet things, people tell you put them in your trunk.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. Let's see. Hopefully the alarm will go off.
You gotta pull both of them pretty hard. Hey!
It goes off, but right now, run.
So this security flaw is that there's a hidden release to open the frunk located in the front bumper of the Model X and behind the front wheel of a Model S. Now, it's only a security flaw, as some people like Salamandrin are claiming, if owners don't know not to keep values or valuables in the trunk, or in the front trunk, that is the frunk. But it's something that Tesla warns not to do. So it's not really a security flaw, but more a safety feature that is necessary for first responders to access the frunk, where they can access the cut loop to shut down the high voltage system in the vehicle. So, I mean, I get that Salamandrin kind of overplayed it just a hint for views on YouTube. The whole clickbait thing. Everyone seems to be into that nowadays. But in conclusion, it's not really a security flaw. It's more of a safety feature. And I mean, if you really want to look at it like a security flaw, as showed in the video, the alarm goes off and everything, so it's not that bad. Topic number 6 comes from Tesla Roddy. So a Tesla factory worker came public citing tough working conditions and prompting workers to consider unionizing. So Mr. Morin, a production worker at Tesla's Fremont, California plant, describes long hours and low pay being offered by Tesla have caused him and many of his colleagues to be fed up and in need of a union support. Many of us have been talking about unionizing and have reached out to the United Auto Workers for support. The company has begun to respond. In November, they offered to raise employees' base pay, the first we've seen in a very long time, says Morin. Though Morin says that employees at the factory were required to sign confidentiality agreements, barring them from speaking publicly about wages and working conditions, he still took to Medium to describe his account of life at the Tesla factory. Management actions are feeding workers fear about speaking out. Recently, every worker was required to sign a confidentiality policy that threatens consequences if we exercise our right to speak out about wages and working conditions. Thankfully, 5 members of the California State Assembly have written a letter to Tesla questioning the policy and calling for a retraction. But Morin makes it very clear that he's proud to be part of the team and to work for Tesla. He says that we are working hard to build the world's #1 car, not just electric, but overall. But at the same time, Morin emphasizes that the issues at hand go beyond receiving just fair pay. Injuries, poor morale, unfair promotions, high turnover, and other issues aren't just bad for workers, they also impact the quality and speed of production. They can't be resolved without workers having a voice and being included in the process, he says. Topic number 7 comes from electric. So Audi's e-tron Quattro SUV could become the first in a series of premium all-electric vehicles to come to the market. Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, Jaguar, and a couple other premium automakers are all planning EVs for the end of the decade, but the way it's looking like, Audi is apparently ahead of the game with its 2018 release for the e-tron Quattro. But of course, as you already know, Tesla is already well established in the premium electric vehicle market with the Model S, which is their sedan, of course, and the Model X, which is their SUV. While discussing the upcoming launch of the e-tron Quattro, Audi's chief of sales and marketing decided to ignore the Model X and claim that the e-tron Quattro will be the, and I quote, the first real premium manufacturer doing a premium electric SUV, which I'm going to have to disagree with you there. So, in other words, Audi doesn't really see Tesla as a real premium manufacturer, or the Model X as a premium electric SUV, which, once again, I have to disagree with you there. So, yeah, because it's kind of hard to see how the Model X doesn't fit the description since it's already competing with Audi's Q5 and Q7 SUVs, and the e-tron Quattro is supposed to be like kind of between the two, a Q6, if you will, even though it was confirmed that it won't be the Q6. So the e-tron Quattro is supposed to have a 90 kilowatt hour battery pack with an EPA estimated range of roughly 275 miles, which isn't bad, but before, Audi can do all this smack talk, but I'd like to see it on the road, and then maybe they can trash Tesla. Topic number 8 comes from Tesla Roddy. So Tesla's mobile app has had very little change made to it for the past several years. But Tesla has released an updated version of the app that comes with a new modern user interface, Touch ID for the iOS users, and significantly improved speed. Tesla's app makes it possible for Model S and X drivers to interact directly with their vehicles and controlling functions like starting and stopping, charging, adjusting the car's temperatures, and of course, owners with the autopilot-equipped vehicles can use the app to summon their vehicles. Now, however, despite the new UI or user interface improvements, there were no additional features added to the app, which is a little unfortunate, especially for the owners that live in cold regions who were kind of hoping for windshield defroster and seat heaters controls in the new app. But maybe that'll be another update coming soon. But as of right now, there are no windshield defroster or seat heater controls. Following topic number 1 a little bit, topic number 9 comes from Electrek. And so sources familiar with the Model 3 program confirmed to Electrek that Tesla has been testing a Model 3 test mule configured with dual motors and a 70 kilowatt hour battery pack, which would make it a Model 3 70D. So the only working prototypes that Tesla allowed people to ride in have been the gray prototype and the matte black, one that they were both unveiled at the original launch event back in March of 2016. So it's not really clear if the Model 3 70D test mule is one of those vehicles, since it had no badging or nothing like that. But the fact that Tesla is testing the Model 3 with a 70 kilowatt hour battery pack doesn't necessarily mean that it would be an option after the test mule program is over, but it's the best indicator of an actual Model 3 configuration that we have so far. Electrek asked Tesla to comment on this report and on whether the test mule configuration was an indicator of the Model 3's battery option, but a spokesperson told Electrek that Tesla hasn't released further details on battery options for the Model 3. So a Model 3 70D would of course be more expensive than the $35,000 base version. We know that Tesla aims for the two-wheel drive base vehicle to travel over 215 miles of range on a full charge. So it's highly unlikely, but if the 70 is the base battery pack, which is highly unlikely, like I said, it would still be a little more expensive because Tesla confirmed that it is the two-wheel drive, so the rear-wheel drive, that is the base version for the $35,000. Topic number 10 comes from Electrek, and so from what I know, I can't really think of any companies who tune or modify the performance of a Tesla. There are a few that change the aesthetics of the car, like Unplugged Performance and Manzori, but not the performance. And to be 100% clear here, I mean, technically adding lighter weight wheels or something like that does help the performance, but I'm talking about the technical stuff, the engine power here. Well, Jason Hughes managed to modify his Model S P85 to get about 30% more power out of it. Imagine that. So his Model S P85, which is now called a P90++, since he upgraded it with a 90 kilowatt hour battery pack. And of course, that's after retrofitting an entire autopilot hardware on the an entire autopilot hardware kind of system on the vehicle, which that's crazy. He also managed to unlock more power through hacking the Ludicrous Mode software onto the vehicle. They say you can do anything you set your mind to, but I know as a fact I couldn't hack a Tesla to save my life. So Tesla introduced the Ludicrous Mode only after the performance vehicles were all equipped with dual motors. So in order to take advantage of the higher power output of the battery pack equipped with the Ludicrous upgrade, he had to trick the car into thinking that it had a second motor, right? Because technically it's a P85, which is, originally a 85 kilowatt hour performance rear wheel drive. So he did that by emulating it with a custom hardware and software that he developed. So that's basically a fake front wheel motor. And so with it, he was able to run a Model S P85D Ludicrous software on his P85. It achieved 508 horsepower, which is a little more than the stock P85, which is 416 horsepower. He later got his hands on a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack and ended up upgrading the P85, which had just become a P85++, with a 90 kilowatt hour pack, turning it into the P90++. So, I mean, he tuned his vehicle and got his first tests on the dyno with truly impressive results. So 553 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque, which is about a 30% improvement on the stock version of the vehicle. And it really is the first evidence of performance tuning of the Model S. So, I mean, hopefully, I don't know if hopefully is the right term to use here, but maybe he could, branch out a little bit and tune more people's Teslas, because that would be interesting to see a real performance. Because, I mean, every gas car has that, right? I mean, you could drive a Civic for all I care, and you could, soup it up completely. But for the Tesla, that doesn't really exist yet. So it'd be cool to see a Tesla tuning business. So those are your 10 Tesla topics from Tuesday, February 7th to Saturday, February 11th, 2017. For any questions, remarks, or even criticism, I encourage you to follow the show's Instagram and Twitter pages at 10 Tesla Topics. That's TENTESLATOPICS. On Instagram, you'll find additional content, such as more pictures or videos from the topics. And on Twitter, you'll find the links to every topic discussed in the episode. If you wish, you can also send me an email at 10teslatopics@gmail.com. That's TENTESLATOPICS@gmail.com. But of course, the easiest way would just be to subscribe to my channel and comment on YouTube. I always try to answer if it's worth to respond. I guess, no offense. But yeah, we'll see you right here next Tuesday for the next show. Thank you for listening, and have yourself a model excellent day.